So you want to get a rhinoplasty. Well, here are some things you should know beforehand in terms of what to expect for that first week. So first of all, luckily, it's actually not a very difficult healing period, meaning there's not a lot of pain, so you'll actually feel quite comfortable even starting on day one. But you will have a splint on top of the nose. Basically, that is protecting the bones underneath, because almost always with a rhinoplasty, we are sculpting, I like to say, the bones, which basically does mean some controlled fractures. So we want to make sure those bones are allowed to set properly. So number one is keep that splint on the first week. Now, a lot of times I'll do what's called an open rhinoplasty, which means that there will be little stitches in what's called the columella, that little space between the nostrils. So you're going to want to put Vaseline on those stitches. It kind of just prevents them from crusting up. Which leads to the third point, which is that probably the really only symptom and worst symptom after rhinoplasty is that you'll have a stuffy nose. So that's due to swelling internally, and you can get some crusting and mucus inside the nose. Don't blow your nose vigorously that first week. What you can do that can be very helpful, though, is just using some basic saline or saltwater sprays. You can get these over the counter at the pharmacy, and just gently spraying the nostrils a couple times a day can help break up some of that crusting and wash that out. So that's the best way to get your breathing back to normal. Other than that, it's obviously you want to limit your activities. You're not going to want to be doing vigorous exercise, although you won't be in pain and uncomfortable. What vigorous exercise can do basically can increase the blood pressure and heart rate in a way that it can increase swelling. So going for a walk is fantastic. That's actually helpful, but nothing too vigorous that first week. And then after the first week, you can gradually kind of build up your activity level. The one thing you want to be careful of for about 6 weeks, though, is any physical sports where you may get hit or contact to the nose. Essentially, the bones are more fragile for the first 6 weeks, so you want to be very protective of those bones in those first 6 weeks. After 6 weeks, if you were to hit your nose, they're at full strength. If you would have broken your nose anyways. So the 6 weeks is kind of the important timeline there. And then the other thing to know is that when your splint does come off, there will still be a little swelling potentially. So just be aware it may not be the final perfect result at that moment, but very quickly thereafter you'll really start to see some nice changes. And again, overall, really not a complicated process. So please contact us if you are interested in rhinoplasty. We can offer virtual consultations. We can show before and afters virtually as well. Thank you.